Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some really big news, and I'm not just kind of saying that because we actually have a really big blog post from the official Microsoft itself, like this one, Microsoft on there, the big blog, going into really in-depth details of what they're going to be doing for the future of their games, their game acquisitions, the future of gaming, and everything else kind of involved in this one Microsoft post. This is also in regards to like cloud gaming, also in regards to open other stores, huge policy changes, and everything else, and this all goes in regards to gaming and gaming as a whole, and like I said, future of things like say the Activision games from their really big acquisition. Now I do kind of think this is kind of somewhat of a preemptive measure because there's been so much backlash in terms of future potential like X-nays of the acquisition of Activision, and I feel like this is kind of them trying to like ease the waters a little bit and be like, hey, this might be a little sketchy, might be a monopoly, but I mean, here is that we have cool policies that might kind of, roll over everything else. So a lot of cool things to go cover, a lot of cool unique changes too as well, and I would go and say this is a very big deal for gaming because this also might be a big approach than also for say the PlayStation or the Switch, and all this put together could actually maybe make gaming a little bit less of a console fight between two consoles and more of just collectively, let's just all make a bunch of money. Now for companies that's good, and for consumers, most of the time that usually is good because as you guys know, competition is great. So a lot of cool things to go talk about over here, as well as a quick little sellout / side note. We actually do have the official release now of the S22 phones. I've been kind of mentioning that up on the pre-orders and stuff, but it's now officially out, and with my links down below, same with the Samsung PS5 SSDs, you can also use it for your PCs. Those are all linked down below. With those links, you also get like a bunch of good deals. You get like I think you also get a gift card too as well for like a good price reduction. A lot of cool stuff because we've been working closely with Samsung to go promote that out. So I'm going to mention those down now for the next few days on the video itself, as well always the Amazon links, the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, the Webull and the Coinbase, and let's go and dive on this video because this, to me at least, is actually some pretty big news as all. So as I mentioned, this is all in regards on the official Microsoft blog post. Obviously, you guys know Microsoft owns Xbox, so let's go dive on in. So this is them basically adapting ahead of regulation, a principled approach to the app stores. Now, when it comes to the app stores, it also comes to games. They're going to talk about games too as well throughout this, and I'm sure you guys know the Xbox Live app and the Xbox Game Pass app and all of that stuff. Microsoft Store is technically kind of a part of the app as well, so in case you guys are curious on that. So basically, as it's funny enough, you even see a little picture of them playing on the cloud gaming for the Sea of Thieves. So today, we're announcing a new set of open app store principles that will be applying to the Microsoft Store on Windows into the next generation marketplaces we build for games. So already off that alone, this is all for Game Pass in terms of PC games. On top of that, 2 marketplaces, which would also be for any like other type of like indie game or big app game or like NFTs, whatever they want to do. It's all in regards to this. We have developed these principles in part to address Microsoft's growing role and responsibility as we start the process of seeking regulatory approval in capitals around the world for our acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So this is 100% them finally addressing this, where they want to be like, yeah, this might be a huge monopoly, but let's not make it a monopoly and let's just make it good for everyone. This regulatory process begins while many governments are also moving forward with new laws to promote competition in app markets and beyond. We want regulators and the public to know that we as a company, Microsoft, is committed to adapting to these new laws, and with these principles, we're moving to do so. So this is, I'm not sure if it's like 100% just because of these big laws and big acquisitions, but no matter what, they do realize this could be a huge problem, and they want this acquisition to go through. So the fact that they were seeing this and talking about this is going to be a little bit more on the sketchier side. As we've seen on other occasions, we recognize that the emerging new era of tech regulation brings with it both benefits and risks, not just for a single company, for the entire industry. So as regards to the entire gaming industry as a whole. As others have pointed out, there are risks with any new regulation, and these deserve a fair hearing and thorough consideration, which I'd agree with that too as well. But as the company, we continue to be more focused on adapting to regulation than fighting against it, which also I do approve. This might just be corporate talk, but I do like them seeing this and addressing this pretty like straightforward. This is like a big thumbs up to me. In part, this is because we have been adapting for 2 decades to antitrust rules, and we've learned from our experience. This is more in regards to say like Windows, in regards to other various things too with Microsoft, I'm sure you guys know. While change is not easy, we believe it's possible to adapt to new rules and innovate successfully, this is all nice stuff I like to see. Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the world, and also when you have Sony is pretty big up there, but it's kind of still a small fry in comparison. So just letting you guys know, this is kind of huge news. Like, this is big, especially because the Activision and Nintendo, just for reference, it's not the same one of one, but Nintendo as a whole company versus just Activision is almost a similar buyout. This is almost on the similar level of them basically buying Nintendo. Now Nintendo's worth a little bit more. It's like has its own brand, has its own like overall everything. Like it's a lot in my mind. It's bigger just by notoriety alone and parents alone, Mario alone, brand alone. But in terms of business wise, Activision is a huge business too as well. And we believe it's possible for governments to adopt new tech regulation and promotes competition while also protecting fundamental values like privacy and national and cybersecurity, which once again I'm down with. I want to have a game company and overall company itself to be safe. I want them to be normal. I want them to be able to go and realize, hey, we don't want to sell your information. We want our information safe. We want good games. We want people happy. And that's kind of nice. The principles that they're adopting today will also ensure that we're providing the best possible experience for creators and customers of all sizes. These principles are grounded in App Store legislation being considered by governments around the world, including by the US, European Union, Republic of Korea, Netherlands, and elsewhere. While no legislation is perfect, we believe it's possible to implement these new laws and continue to innovate responsibly and grow a healthy and profitable business. So just as Windows has evolved to an open and broadly used platform, we see the future of gaming following a similar path. Today, 2.8 billion consumers worldwide, including more than 190 Americans, play games, and we expect that global number to reach even higher, 4.5 billion by 2030, as new generations turn to gaming for entertainment, community, and a sense of achievement. Our vision is to enable gamers to play any game on any device anywhere, including by streaming from the cloud, App Store on the most relevant and popular everyday devices like mobile phones, PCs, including Windows PCs, and in time, the cloud are all important to realizing this vision. But right now, there's too much friction exists today between creators and gamers, App Store policies, and practices. This also I had a reference to for the really big Apple drama in regards to Apple and Fortnite, where basically you still can't even play Fortnite on Apple phones because they got removed from the App Store because they just want to have that leverage to make as much money as they can. Our large investment to acquire Activision Blizzard further strengthens our resolve to remove this friction on behalf of creators and gamers alike. We want to, this is kind of this right here, the big point of the video of what I'm getting to. We want to enable world-class content to reach every gamer more easily across every platform. We want to encourage more innovation and investment in content creation and fewer constraints on distribution. Put simply, the world needs open app markets, and this requires open app stores. The principles we're announcing today reflect our commitment to this goal. So basically, for verbatim, in case you guys are curious, I think they dived a little bit more. They basically want to have PlayStation and maybe even Nintendo Switch able to run and utilize Call of Duty and all these other various games. Even after the acquisition, it kind of seems in this wording that they want the open gaming for everyone. They want anyone out there to be able to go and be able to go buy Call of Duty or buy Overwatch or play World of Warcraft or whatever it is, because they want to have an open market, and they also realize the more people using and basically having their products, the better. And I kind of in the same boat. Like, think even like for Windows. Everyone has Windows. They don't use it the same way. But at the end of the day, even if you go and even use Windows, just use even to like download like a Chrome app for Google, guess what? The Microsoft and then also Google are both winning at the end of the day, if you really think about it. So it's kind of crazy to go and see. So basically, there's App Store principles make commitment in 4 important areas: quality, safety, security, and privacy. So they want basically any developer to be able to go access the App Store at all, as long as they meet, the reasonable and transparent standards. So obviously there's like no scams and stuff like that. They want to continue to protect consumers and gamers who use our app store, ensuring the developers meet our standard. Also good for consumers, also making sure games aren't like buggy and broken. And also, of course, want to respect the privacy, which is huge. I do not like when people sell my data, especially if I don't know about it and I'm not making money off it. Accountability. They want to hold their own apps to those same standards. So even if like a game's fantastic, they want to make sure all their games, like the Halos or Forzas or whatever else is on the App Store, is in the same boat. They will not be using public information from the data app to compete with developers, which is also huge if they follow that rule, especially when you can see like Facebook, where they keep on selling and using user data. Fairness and transparency. They will treat all apps equally in the store without unreasonable preference, which is huge. Same thing too as well about rules for promotion and marketing too as well, and make sure there's like no basically one-sided guidance. I mean, there probably will be obviously for big games, no duh, Halos, etc. But it's just business. On top of that, too, they will not going to require any developers to use the App Store to use our payment system, which is huge. No developers have to use the App Store to provide favorable terms as well. They will not be disadvantaging developers, too, if they use a different system. And everything I'm hearing, this is beautiful from a company, especially from such a huge tech giant. Although one big issue is as long as they follow it. That's always the big thing. They also will recognize that emerging legislation will apply new rules to companies that both run an app store and control the underlying operating systems like Windows. So as of today, they are committing that they will continue to enable developers to choose whether they want to develop for apps for Windows to the App Store or someone else's store too as well. They want to continue to give developers timely access to information too as well for interpolarity. They also want to make sure Windows users can use alternate app stores and third-party apps as well on top of that too. And this is one of the biggest ones over here. We have also recognized the regulators may have other important questions as they review the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We're committed to addressing every potential question and want to address publicly on the outset of such questions here. Some commenters have asked whether we will continue to make content. This is like the biggest thing in the article. Make popular content like Activision's Call of Duty available on competing platforms like Sony's PlayStation. This obvious concern is that Microsoft could make this title available exclusively on the Xbox console, undermining opportunities for Sony PlayStation users. To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard's titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love. Huge. We are also interested in taking similar steps to support Nintendo's successful platform. We believe this is the right thing for the industry, for gamers, and for our business too as well. That is huge. That is like the big bread and butter of the video. I mean, everything else with all the App Store stuff is nice, but this, for a lot of folks have been curious on Call of Duty. A lot of people are just curious on what's going to happen in the future. This is literally Microsoft plainly stating that they are okay with it. They want it to go and happen, and they even want to maybe expand into even Nintendo consoles, maybe think like Nintendo Switch Pro, and be able to go and offer even more of these various types of games on these platforms. Now, at this point, it kind of puts PlayStation to have to maybe respond or kind of see like, yeah, we meant defeat, let's work together. Because actually, funny enough, Sony has always been more of the harder one to work with over Microsoft. So this is huge. Now, also some people might be kind of curious on why they're just not doing it for today for current Xbox console stores, but it's important to recognize that emerging legislation is being written to address the app stores on these platforms as well. So it's kind of like one of those things where it keeps on changing every few months, every few years. So you basically have to it's like an ever-changing industry, so it's hard to have it fully locked down. But at the end of the day, this is huge. They want to make sure all the developments and developers are taken care of. That information is safe. And at the end of the day, that you will be able to go utilize all these games that they bought from these huge, huge acquisitions that everyone's been worried about from Microsoft words themselves to be available on other various platforms, especially namely the PlayStation from as of right now, in the future and beyond, as long as PlayStation is okay with it. So this is huge. This is huge news for gaming. This is huge news for everything. And it's kind of almost needs Microsoft, which is one of the biggest platforms out there, to actually go and deal with this because they are the biggest big dog. They have the money, they have the support, they have the power to kind of go and push the industry in a good direction. So this is huge. This is like game changing. And these all official announcements over here from Microsoft are music to go in here. So give me your thoughts and comments down below as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for restock news, gaming news, and all of that. We also do have the Samsung SSDs, as we mentioned, and also the brand new S22s that are currently on sale. You get basically discount if you guys use the links down below. Twitter and Twitch stream as well. Link down below. And sign up for Weeble. Deposit $100, get a bunch of free stock and free money. Same with that Coinbase too as well. And I appreciate all of you guys so much for watching. Leave your likes and comments down below. And overall, this hopefully might be the start of a beautiful relationship.